This is an update to the domestic travel requirements for Davao, General Santos, and Cagayan de Oro City. If you are traveling to these places this November, then stay tuned and watch the video to know what travel documents to prepare upon check-in at the airport. Welcome to Gensan TV. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you receive updates as they are posted. Here are the domestic travel requirements for Davao. All Davao-bound guests are required to submit the following travel documents upon check-in, starting with the locally stranded individuals and the authorized persons outside of residence or APURs. Please present a negative RT-PCR swab test result from any DOH-accredited laboratory or a negative saliva RT-PCR test result from Philippine Red Cross only, valid for 72 hours from the time the test was done until arrival in Davao City. Children who are 12 years old and below are exempted from the test requirement. Also present your valid government-issued ID and a safe Davao QR code. Returning overseas Filipinos who have landed either in Clark, Manila, or Cebu must present the following requirements: a Bureau of Quarantine clearance which is valid for 7 days from date of issuance, and this clearance and certificate must indicate that the guest has completed 10 days of quarantine and the negative RT-PCR test result. Also provide a safe Davao QR code. For guests who have tested positive for COVID-19 and have completed the quarantine period, please present the following requirements: a Bureau of Quarantine clearance or a municipal or city health office certificate of completion of quarantine, provided that it is the original copy and that it is duly notarized, a copy of RT-PCR test, notarized doctor certificate of good health and fit to travel, clinical summary if hospitalized, and safe Davao QR code. The effectivity of quarantine completion certificates shall be for 14 days from date of release from quarantine as indicated on the municipal or city health office certificate. Let's proceed to the requirements for General Santos, starting with returning residents. Please prepare a negative RT-PCR swab or saliva test result valid for 72 hours from the date of release of results, a valid ID containing an address in General Santos, a mandatory 7 days quarantine upon arrival. The fetching and ferrying of returning residents from the airport shall be the responsibility of the respective barangays. And lastly, please have a trace app. For authorized persons outside of residence or APUR, please prepare a negative RT-PCR swab or saliva test result valid for 72 hours from the date of release of results, a travel order or company certification stating the purpose of your travel, a hotel booking, return flight, and trace app for contact tracing. Still in Gensan, this time for returning overseas Filipinos, please prepare a negative RT-PCR swab or saliva test result valid for 72 hours, a Bureau of Quarantine certification, proof of residency or valid government-issued ID, and a mandatory 7-day quarantine upon arrival along with a trace app. Let's proceed to Cagayan de Oro City. All guests bound for CDO are required to register to the following: SPAS Permito Travel, Stay Safe Contact Tracing, of course Barangay Coordination Letter, and Higala QR Code. Also, a Bureau of Quarantine certificate for returning overseas Filipinos only. The links to this website are provided in the description below. Guests bound for cities and municipalities outside Cagayan de Oro City and within the province of Misamis Oriental are only required to register in SPAS and StaySafe.ph only. And those are the domestic travel requirements for Davao, General Santos, and Cagayan de Oro for November 2021. Thank you so much for watching. If you find the content of this channel valuable, remember to subscribe. Feel free to check out the other videos as well.